Ay ay. Evet. Bakalım bu nasıl bir oyunmuş. Ben mi açıyorum? Nasıl açıyorum onu?
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning with the house.
Ayar mayar yok.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Alamıyor muyum bunun içindeki?
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Ana, güzelmiş. Kelimeler
In
kötü.
her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Ben doğru mu gidiyorum? Nereye gideceğim ki? Efendim? Ben oyun sesini kıstım azıcık ama şimdi birazcık açtım. Şimdi nasıl? Kayboldum. Oyunda da kaybolmayı
The
başardım.
truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Aa, şurada ev gördüm. Oraya
Now I had
gideceğiz herhalde.
questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Anamız bize bir tane anahtar bırakmış. Küçükken buradan ayrılmışız. Aha da şimdi geri dönmüşüz. Buradan gidilmiyor. Ha, bir yerlerden düşemiyorum.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do.
Dur bir dakika. Birazcık daha sesini açayım. Oldu mu şimdi?
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Bu nasıl ev ya? Anlamsız bir kat çıkmışlar.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, As a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
...17 yaşındaymışız arkadaşlar.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Açamadık.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Başka bir giriş bulacağız o zaman. Bu taraftan gidelim. Bu açılan bir şey değil belli ki. Köpek yerinden girdim içeri.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Buradan nasıl gireymişiz zaten. Baksana şu kapının haline. Burasıymış orası. Bura ne öyle? Kale kapısı gibi. Silikonlamışlar bir de. Bu oyunun amacı ne ki acaba?
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Burası da değil. Kırıp açamıyor muyum ben bunları? Madem ev benim oldu. Sehpa ne güzelmiş.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Hayaletli mi bu ev ya?
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Her yer kitap.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Açtı.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Böyle bir evim olsun istemem.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
İçindekini alamıyor muyum ya? Kapattı geri.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Gece mi oldu? Yo. Burada.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Çocuk oldum.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Pis pis yedi.
I kept eating and eating.
Diş macunu mu?
I ate a lot of things that night.
Her şeyi yiyor.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Kedi oldum, kedi. Nereye gideceğim?
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired.
Nereye gitti kuş? Oraya
Now
atlayamam
I was
herhalde.
up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Demesi var mı?
He?
Demesi var mı?
Ne var mı?
Deme.
Ha yok.
Rabbits.
Aa yazık.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine
Yeni.
with my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
Yo yeme yeme yeme yeme yeme yeme yeme yeme. Yeme yeme
She
yeme.
was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Öldü. Ne yapacak? Kaldım böyle.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Ee,
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
ısırdı bıraktı. Tövbe yarabbim. Kullanamıyorum ki ben bunu.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Neyim ben?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Bu ne ya? Yılan değil bence bu. Bir şey uzatıyorum, sonra kendimi öne doğru itiyorum. Sümüklü böcek gibi. Bak, bu kadar gidiyor. Sonra çık öne doğru. Nereye gideceğim? Bir şeyin üstüne de çıkamıyorum.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Yedim. Adamı yedim.
Passenger, I was still hungry.
Bunu da yedim.
Across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Ay tuvaletten çıktım.
I got closer and closer.
Neye closer?
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Ben Molly değilim, değil mi? Ben kimim? Edith miyim?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Nasıl çıkartacağım bunun üstünden? Başa döndü bu. Hı.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Okay.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Hiç anlamadım
She
kim
could
kim.
have, but she didn't. even in her
Kimin nesi?
90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Aynı
The only
korkunç
trace
bir
Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink
banyo.
bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Tövbeler olsun.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down. I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming!
Ne güzel
But that
sallanıyor.
day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Ayaklarını sallıyor. Gitsene oğlum aşağı. İnemeyeceğim galiba buradan. Midem bulandı. Kusacağım şimdi. İnemiyorum. Bayağı inemiyorum. Hızlanıyorum. Daha nasıl hızlanayım? Ah. Salıncağa döndürdüm. Böyle tuhaf bir şey oldu.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Gerçekten öyle oldu.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Oha.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Ne taraftan gideyim? Hadi buradan çıkalım.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Şimdi idim olacağız.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick had...
Aşağıda vardı bir tane müzik kutusu. Belki de o da anahtar.
Right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for...
Ben de çevirdim. Bana anahtar vermedi.
Was silent.
Şimdi çizgi romanın içine girdik ya.
And imagine the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Ne ne ne ne ne ne ne ne ne.
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Gitme gitme. Ne ne ne ne ne gitme gitme. Ay bana götürttürüyor bir de. Yukarı mı çıkacağız?
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside
described the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Bu nasıl ev anasını satayım ya?
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groan. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Niye? Ne yapacağım? Ben de mi atlayacağım aşağı? Aha gitti.
Had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Kapı çalıyor. Kapı nerede?
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Biri var arkanda. Biri, iki.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Kim o?
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true.
Rezillik.
She saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life.
Yediler.
Myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe we could
Buradaki
be
isimlerin
all
hepsi
happy
ölmüş
and-
herhalde buralarda bir yerde. Bizim ne işimiz var burada o zaman? Ölmeye mi geldik?
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it. The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait. My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key. Every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Hepsine baktık bunların. Buradan yukarı çıkacağız o zaman. Hı-hı.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Giremedik. Aşağı ineceğiz o zaman. Gidelim şu müzik kutusundaki anahtarı çıkartabiliyor muyuz bakalım. Çıkarttık. Buradan girdik ya zaten eve. Buradan girmedik mi? Ha yok. Birinin hayalinde gördük böyle.
Unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter
Oo, evin dışına çıktık şu an.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories,
Kilermiş burası.
I think it's
Sığınak da olabilir.
gotten very far.
Walter. Yeter mi bu kadar ya bugün?
I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
Yeni birinin düşlerine girmeden çıkalım bence. Yeter bu kadar. Midem bulandı zaten ya. O zaman güle güle. Güle güle Onur.